Okay, well, my name's Andrew Stuck. I'm one of the co-directors of Walk, Listen, Create, which is a social enterprise. What we get up to is we try to support artists, performers, and writers who make work on foot or to be experienced on foot. And we're one of seven partners in this amazing 4-year Create Europe EU-funded project. So big thank you to the EU for that. The project is called Walking Arts and local communities. And what this event is all about is trying to get some ideas from yourselves about how we can shape the program, how we can get more interconnection and interaction with local communities, and also, how we can support walking artists to get more involved. So, how the event is going to take shape is there's me, and I'm going to be saying a few things at the beginning, which I've just said, and I'm going to be ably assisted by two of my fellow walk colleagues, and that's Mary and Costas, and they're much more organised than I am, so they'll pop up at different points during the event. What we're going to try and do is run through something over about 60 minutes. We're going to give you a bit of a warm up, a bit of an icebreaker, something to get you to know each other and know other people in the room. We're then going to move on to invite you to do a little bit of walking in your mind and thinking about issues that crop up when you go walking. And then we're going to split you up and get you to discuss certain aspects of walking artists' requirements and local community requirements. So what we're going to do first is we're going to split you into a breakout room for a couple of minutes. And what we would like you to do is we'd like you to share with one other person who you'll discover in this breakout room what your most memorable walking experience is. So that's all we ask you to do at this stage. And I think what's going to happen is that you'll suddenly be shot into a breakout room. Fingers crossed. Thanks very much for doing that. It's just a little icebreaker. What we're going to ask you to do now is going to take a little bit longer. Hopefully it won't be too challenging and will be a lot of fun. So what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine you're on a journey, a walking route or a walking journey within wherever you live, or whatever your kind of community of friends, family, neighborhood, whatever. It can either be a real one, a walking journey you've done, or something that you've just imagined. And what we really want you to think about is the sort of feelings and senses and experiences that you get while you're walking. So that's kind of what we want you to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to look at something which is called a Padlet. And this Padlet will have what are called body map prompts. And each part of the body will represent an aspect of the walking experience. And what we'll want you to do is reflect on each part and quickly write down your responses to simple words or short phrases that you'll find on this Padlet. Now, the Padlet link should be in the chat. And I'm hoping that it's arrived. Yes, Mary has popped it in the chat. So if everyone looks at the chat, you click on that link, you'll be taken to this thing called a Padlet. It's bright orange and all the rest of it. But what we want you to do, this is what you'll be coming to. And we'll want you first, as I say, close your eyes a little bit, imagine you're on a walk, thinking about what you feel, what you're experiencing, what your senses are picking up. Then choose one of these 5 body parts and write your different comments and things as an answer to these questions. And you simply do that by, I made a mistake and clicked on the plus. That's not what we want you to do. We just want you to click on the add comment. Click immediately there and you can write something there. So that's what we'll ask you to do. So we'll get going if we may. Just close your eyes for a few seconds, think about a journey, and then come back to the Padlet and pop in your comments. And we'll let this run for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll come back to the next activity. How's everyone doing? Everyone enjoyed that? I hope they did. It's not too arduous, less arduous than the actual walk itself. Maybe that's the way to look at it. Okay, so what we're going to ask you to do now is we're going to give you about 15 minutes, and we want you to think about what problems and challenges you faced while walking your journey. But we actually want you to do that with others. So what we're going to do is we're going to craftily invite you to fill in a poll in which you can choose one of three breakout rooms, and they're going to be based on, I think there were going to be two, but financial or socio-cultural. So you choose which one you'd like to be in, and then what, as I say, what we ask you to do is consider what are the problems and challenges you face while walking your journey based on whether they were financial or socio-cultural. And then we'll give you some time to go through that.
Selected the sociocultural option. First of all, I would like to present yourself so that we can meet each other better, and then we can discuss the issues that you find in challenges. That could be financial, but could be also any other issue that we can discuss here. So we can start with Sophie.
Yes, hello. So
Hello.
I'm a working artist, and I'm living in Montreal. I can say many things. I don't know what I can begin. Maybe I did many kind of walking. I walk sometime alone, long walking, short walking, and walking with group also. So the community walking with the local community or thinking about the local community is it's important for me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's have a round with the names and then we can come back. Athanasia.
Okay, yes.
Hello. I am a student, a master student in art. I just finished my master program. It has to do with the perceptions of landscape, and I'm working with the places that have been abandoned.
Okay, thank you, Athanasia. Fernando.
Hi. So I'm a Portuguese artist that uses walking in his work process, but also I have right now two projects in which walking is the main, let's say, the main subject, in the sense that we use walking as not only as an artistic kind of tool for artistic practice, but also as a way to better understand the landscape processes that lies behind, that lies behind the landscapes. we understand landscapes as a process, of course, and so it's not about only visual representation, it's about all the processes that lies behind um, the landscape. So, and well, I have to say that the fall was kind of very difficult to respond because we have problems some issues in both sides, not only in the financial one, but also in the social cultural one. So I think it was a very difficult choice, I would say.
Okay,
That's
okay, you will
Fernando,
tell us.
may I ask in which area are you? In
in
which area
Portugal.
are you?
I live near, very close to 40 kilometers from Lisbon, uh, near Setúbal. You know Portugal?
Yes, I've been to Portugal 3 times. So
Okay, okay. It's between the two of the two rivers,
okay,
between the
thank you.
Tagus River and the Sado River. So yeah,
Okay, perfect. And Yanni?
Uh, I'm Yanis Yogas. I know this group. I don't know Fernando. Fernando, it is great to meet him. And I'm
thank you.
very active in the area in the issues related to community-based art. So the main contribution of this project, which is WALC, is how walking and community-based practices will meet. So this is the main issue. I work in that field in many ways, both as a practitioner in the field since 2006 in the area of Prespa. Prespa is not the place, it is a case rather of how an area that is battered from all the wounds of the 20th century can recover, can be initiated in a better way from through watching and through artistic practices. Also, I'm a professor in a university, I'm an artist, and also I see how the public university has to go inside the communities and contribute, if not resurrect, if not heal all these issues. So for me, I'm also the artistic director of the project, along with, of course, Gert Vermeire. And this is my main issue and the main challenge. And we are very happy, I have to say, that the European Union was broad enough to accept this project. And I think one of the reasons why we were accepted is because they acknowledged the use of it, meaning that there are already in Ukraine and there have been in former Yugoslavia and all these areas like that. So it is a very specific project for a very specific reason.
Okay, thank you very much, Yanni. So we can start with the challenges that you think that they are for financial challenges in working. And Fernando, you said that you have a few of them. So
Uh, I didn't understand what you said. What?
yeah. So let's start talking about the financial
Okay.
challenges in the working. And you said that you have quite of this. So maybe you can start to explain.
Well, financial problems. It's not easy to access funding in Portugal. There are there are too many opportunities to do so. Uh, we have quite a few institutions that fund projects. Apart from that, the thing is, if you don't get any funds from the main sponsors, it's very difficult to find micro sponsors. You understand? It's very difficult. So actually, one of my projects was funded on the last summer, so I'm very happy with it. But the fact is, it's very, very hard to find funding in Portugal. Very difficult. So it's very my answer is in a very basic kind of position because it's as simple as that. It's not easy to find funding in Portugal. There are not too many institutions that fund projects. So I don't know. It's a kind of I would say, national problem. So, and
I think it's,
yeah, okay, just that.
sorry. I think it's hard to have the recognition of the walking art. Maybe it's the main thing why it's difficult to have financial support. I know in Quebec there is some opportunity, but I mean it's more and now it's more recognized, and walking can be art. A few years ago, it was not so. Was not the same, but still, because maybe it's intangible. It's less. We don't work with real matter. I don't know why exactly, but it's difficult to have the real recognition of this kind of project and art. It's not. Yeah, that's what I can say at this point.
Let me just add one more aspect. It will be far more easier if we envelop all the artistic project in a kind of touristic kind of approach, which is not my goal. Really, it is not. So, at least in Portugal, from my point of view.
Okay.
From my point of view,
yes, Jan. Yep.
I think that we cannot ask for funding for walking arts, as an art, because art walking is not only art, so to say, it is also a practice, and this is what is the magic of it. It is so broad that it can be indirectly funded from different ways. And this is its also source of power, in a way, because it can be, it can really be funded in an indirect way, which is great in a way, because we are referring, for instance, we are referring to communities, so the communities can give back to this medium that as well. So and this also is differentiating it from other traditional ways of funding for arts through either major collectors or through public funding. So that's what we are trying to do, and we have been very successful actually in Prespa. We go back to the communities because working has to do also with communities.
Okay, so Fernando, you say that it's not something that you would like to channel in tourism, touristic issues. Can you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, the thing is, our approach to in our projects is to, as I said, we have two main aspects: the artistic practice using walking as a means, and the critical approach to landscapes, to landscape studies. That's our two main goals. But we are not interested in, let's say, using walking as a means to kind of. I have nothing against it. I'm just saying it is not our goal, which is different. Enveloping all this in the kind of touristical, let's show to people what the cultural aspects of the historical building, all of these issues. This is not our goal to do that. There are other institutions that do that. We want to have a critical approach to landscapes and to artistic practice. It's really our goal, and it's not. it's enough because it's a broad area. But I kind of agree with the other colleague. I'm sorry,
Yanis.
Yanis. Um, I kind of agree with you because yes, you're right. It's a very broad walking as an artistic practice. It's a broad subject, and you can channel it to various orientations. I would say I totally agree with that. But we have our our goals, and we are going to keep in the track. Um, but I agree with you. Maybe there are some changes that we can or we should do in order to have more access to funds. Really.
And Yanis, do you think about the public health support, or in which part of what other place can support more the artistic, walking community, walking people who want to make project for walking with community?
I think
Like
that
more
first
public
of all,
health?
artists have to be present in these communities for years in order to have a return. So there needs to be, in a way, a commitment to the community. You cannot ask from a community to support anything unless you are part of the community. That's one thing. We are not like missionaries coming to art or to a community and tell them what art is about. So first of all, we have to come there, and this is the great thing about community-based art, that it creates, it creates we are being immersed in the community. And what I have seen is that as the more you get immersed in the community, even funding comes easier. Because you are part of that, you are part of their needs. You have to be there. You have to share with them the issues. You have to become part of the issues. You have to become part of that problem, so to feel the problem, let's say, yourself as well. Otherwise, you are just a foreigner, a bypasser, and maybe someone who sees people like material, so to say, like an artist sees a piece of marble, so to say, that they want to shape in order to make an artwork. So I think that this is the first thing that one has to do, to immerse the communities, not only in any forms of art, but especially in watching, because watching has this character. At least it can have this character. And I think that we live in an era when watching, after the three formal implementation, starting from the generation of Fulton, of Hamish Fulton and Long, going to the second of Rebecca Solnit, etc. Then it goes to the third phase of implementation. And this has to be connected, in our case, to community.
Thank you.
Okay, and you, Sophie, how you do this in Montreal?
I'm not. I have an artist community. I do working with many kind of group, but there's not only one kind of group, and it's not in one place either. It's in Quebec, mostly Montreal. So I try to make connection with what Yanis just said. It's not exactly the same kind of model, but I really understand what you say, Yanni. I think so. I think I understand, and I know your project a little bit in Prespa. So it's not exactly the same, but I feel that community are really interested and interact very easily when I propose some walking project. But still, I cannot have necessarily financial support. That's the point of the subject today. So that's the other side of the question.
Okay.
But I have great participation of people, and I'm really interested also with the not exactly the landscape, but the territories and the implication for people with the territories, what territories means for them, and to share that with the group. It's really interesting, and we discover a lot each other with talking about that when we walk, because walking is still a fact very important in it in the project, in this kind of interaction.
Okay, thank you. I think we don't have a lot of time. We need to return now to the main room. Thank you all for your reflections. The work project, I mean, it's a project that I don't know if there are other projects about working that are financed by the European Union, but it's the first project I know that it's financed by.
What we're meant to be doing in this breakout room is thinking about socio-cultural challenges that we might face and how we might overcome them. So what I suggest we do is just go quickly around the 12 or 13 of us, and we just say what socio-cultural challenges that have cropped up in your mind, and we'll see whether we can either narrow down on them or expand on them or whatever. So if anyone would like to go first, I mean, I'll say the sort of socio-cultural challenge that I find is quite difficult is communicating anxiety in a language that I don't understand, or that I don't speak, and looking at ways of how you can inform someone of how you're feeling about something if you're caught out in a situation and the people around you don't understand you. Anyone else want to suggest anything?
I have another obstacle that I remember, and it was in India, because in the place where I was, and I think this is very common in all India, there were no paths out of the urban. So you imagine to go to that mountain, that small hill that you saw from your window of your place, and there were no paths to get there, and people were looking at you like crazy. Why do you want to get there? I mean, there is nothing there, only snakes, or maybe snakes or dangerous animals, and in any case there's no temple, no people, no shop, so why do you want to go there? No, so we have the idea that there are paths everywhere, and that for us nature is very accessible, but in fact, European nature is like a garden, like a park. And when you go to other places in the world, nature is nature and paths are not there.
Great, that's a fantastic a point to bring up. Anyone else have got something else that they've thought of?
Yes, hi everybody. I also agree with Clara. Even me, who I am from Greece, it sometimes is very hard to have a walk. There are not many paths. So I agree with her. So that is not happening only in India, but even in Greece. Thank you.
I have a comment to that. I love to walk outside the paths, which is allowed in Scandinavia, but not as much in Singapore, where I also live part of the time. And being a foreigner, it's challenging because you feel you don't know the rules, and I've become much more alert about rules and laws and regulations since I've lived there for a long time, which I don't do in my own country, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, where might you be trespassing, and when can you walk and when you can't walk?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, I must say I was in Norway this summer, and in the Netherlands they're really strict with if you're not allowed to pass on somebody's land. So it took me like two days before I like dare to go over a land. Instead of in Scandinavia, it's more normal to cross. You have this right to go, yeah, outside the paths, but also on somebody's own living area. While in the Netherlands, it's not common.
Well, Tony,
So
I imagine if you're in America, you might get shot because the property might cheat you for stepping on their property. So yeah, no, I can definitely feel that. There could be an anxiety there. Anyone else got something different, or yeah, Fred?
yeah, I also have something different, and that's when you walk in a group and you have different expectations or different. Also, sometimes when you walk and also people talking, then they down, and some people keep their path. So how do you, yeah, walk with different walking?
Case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I have the same concern each time I go for a walk. I try to walk out of the path, but at the end I discovered that what was very challenging was my own mindset. When I was going out of the path and I said, oh, probably this area, I cannot walk there, people will be angry at me and so on. And it's interesting because the other day I was like this, paranoid, and I arrived and a guy was super saying, hey, hello, how are you? So I think it reflects our own mindset to go out of the past, and we can discover things about us. But of course, we have to be careful, obviously.
Yeah. Anyone else got ideas and suggestions? Yeah, Tamsin.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I haven't. I've never been outside Europe, so I can't speak about India or any of these or Singapore. But my concern is my local area. That I can't guarantee that when I walk round a corner that the vegetation, the trees, the plants, the fungi or whatever are still going to be there, because where I am, they're constantly taking them down, cutting them down, stripping back the earth. So every time I go out, I have this fear that this patch of land that I've got to learn to know and enjoy and take people on walks for. So recently I arranged a walk for the community, and 2 days before the walk, they completely wiped the area we were walking through. All there was just bare earth. So mine is a very local concern.
Yeah, I didn't have the idea that this conversation had this direction, but when we walk in groups, there is always it's always dangerous to walk on the side of a road. Okay, so and the roads don't have space for people walking, because the space for people walking are usually the place for the waters drain. So there is always a fear of having some programming some walks that had to pass through those spaces. It's always a challenge, but it's always a difficult situation, I think.
No, I think it's a very good point, Miguel, because I think a lot of highway infrastructure, especially in rural areas, doesn't doesn't provide for pedestrians at all. And it can be very, very dangerous and very frightening for a pedestrian to be walking on the road. And as you say, they're often the least looked after person in the kind of transport hierarchy is the pedestrian.
It strikes me that we're talking a lot about our experiences as artists and sort of what it means to walk as an artist. But the question I have is, how do we invite people in who are looking at you and being like, why would you walk there? This doesn't make any sense to me that you'd even do this. So people who don't have a context for walking as an artistic practice or creative walking practices, how do we invite them in to expand the audience and participants that might be engaging with and enjoying this kind of work?
Yeah, I'm from Amsterdam, and I got this. Yeah, I also talked to Andrew. I'm doing this monthly walkings. I do drawings and walking at the same time, and then I invite people to join. We do, like, that's also why I talked about the tempo of the people walking, because I walk with a bigger group of people, and then we just do a small area. But by that, I hope that they explore their own local area. And that's really nice. I must say, I'm really happy that I have like mostly 20 people or even more, sometimes 40 people walking together for 2 hours. And we don't do a lot of distance. So it's like a small, like, just sometimes feels like a round. But it is, I even for me, it's like sometimes I also do walk with a writer, for example, that wrote about this area, and then he tells also a little bit, and then I see different things and different topics that I didn't know about. So I really like it, and it's also you just have to set it up, kind of, and do it, and I do it on a monthly basis, and then it's. Yeah, people know it.
Okay, Clara wants to say something, but before you do,
I wanted to
hang
to Blake. I think that there is not so much distance as we think between artist and non-artist, and walking is one of the best strategies to dissolve this authorship in which we have been prisoners for 5 centuries. So I think that by walking sufficient time, maybe more than 4 or 5 days, this kind of art, this kind of creativity is permeating all the group, and somehow it becomes a common experience and a common product somehow also. So I don't see so much difference between being the artist or not. And I think that one of the good things of walking arts is precisely that it is not in the genders of painting, sculpture, land art, and all these kind of things, but in a much wider context in which audiences and artists are completely fusioned if things go right.
Okay, what I was going to say, I was going to try and stop Clara from speaking, but she got in there. So, but what I'm aware of is that Carla, Robin, and Mary haven't yet had a chance to contribute. And if you want to have a chance to contribute, you need to contribute pretty quickly, because we're kind of going to, we want to be moving on to the next section of the discussion. So, Robin, Carla, and Mary, do you want to pitch in anything which is around the cultural challenge which hasn't been raised, or support, or argue the other way?
Excuse me, it is not possible to speak a lot. I have small children. I grade in Clara and Billy. For me, it's the same, the work. Thank you.
Yes, I was going to bring up the walking as a woman. That has proven to be rather, well, a very complex issue depending on where I am in the world. And then I have to always take a moment and think, okay, where am I in the world? Do I know anybody here? Do I kind of speak the language? Do I kind of know the place? Have I already been here a few times before? So as I can navigate myself, and who else is around me? So it's like this radar thing that goes out, and well, I don't know. I wouldn't have had that, I think, had I not been a woman. And it's a very yeah, deep and complex issue.
Socioeconomic, yeah, I think about how it is to be a European going to Asia, and that you are perceived as some kind of a rock star in some countries. You will automatically get a lot of attention, so can't like walk around and believe that it's gonna be peaceful and kind of that you can walk in your own space. You will automatically get attention because you're not common there.
That's a very good point. Now, Mary, you have to tell me how we're doing for time on this. Yeah.
I've lost it, but we can proceed to the second part.
Yeah, I think we ran over time a little bit, but look, thank you very much, everybody. And there's more to come, so don't,
No. We talked about the problems. I think we still have a little bit of time, because the second part would be what opportunity. I mean, listen, Costas is going to cut us off at some point, so he has the right to do that.
He cuts us off mid-flow, does he? Okay.
So the second part of this group is to ask, what opportunities do you see for collaboration across these challenges? In other ways, how can you see the walking art overcoming these challenges, helping to overcome those challenges? We already had Lizzie, I think, so, saying an example about the regular meetings that she's holding, smaller sections of walking. Does anybody else have any other ways in which they have try to do something about these challenges?
I was just busy writing a message to Blake to say that one of the things I've been doing recently is because of a job that I had has been local history, and because of who I am, I think of my walks as I am me doing them, so therefore it is I'm walking as a walking artist, but I advertise local history, and that attracts completely different people. And of course, Clara, my experience with Clara and walking on the Grand Tour is the same. That then we go around local history places, but we visit places which we can talk about from an artistic point of view if we want to. But it stops being an issue. It's just people walking. So, yeah.
I think that by working together, we have a fantastic opportunity of co-learning, of learning together without the traditional ways of someone teaching and someone learning. So of discovering together, and also a fantastic opportunity of co-creating, which was the thing that I was trying to explain before, which is that we can do something together that develops, that unfolds all our creative talents, with the help also, of course, of each and one of the members that is working. Of course, artists that have worked all of their life professionally have some talents that the others don't have, but other people has other talents. And if the time is sufficient, and if the work is enough slow and not sportive, but completely focused on community and creation, it's an incredible opportunity of collaboration and creating communities. And also a very important opportunity to connect by hospitality with local communities, which are, in fact, always wanting to host workers.
I agree with Clara, but I also think that if you walk with some people, I know that in the Netherlands there was, it's a long time ago, there was artists that made a demonstration, and they said they would demonstrate, but they were just with 3 people. They would demonstrate through Amsterdam, but they put all the posters outside, so people were watching, but there were just 3 people that did the whole walk. So that could be anybody, and nobody saw it. But I think it's what my experience is, if you walk with, for example, 3 or 4 more yes, like together, really together, you're already creating also a group for the other ones that just pass by. And by that also
I agree.
connect.
These few people are holding the story of the situation. They are the thread that connects the community.
Yeah.
The community is ephemeral and very fragile.
Yeah.
Okay, we're sort of running out of seconds. Apparently, we're going to be chucked out in about 20 seconds. So it's just a big thank you for all of you. I'm going to be ducking out, and you'll discover that Mary and Costas are going to take over more of a role in this. But thank.
Welcome back, you guys. So I think everybody is in for now. So thank you, Andrew. Yeah, for now we're going to be continuing to the second part of the session, which is going to be again in 2 different breakout rooms, and one is meant for artists and the other is meant for communities. And I will give a very brief definition of those because it's very broad. So if you consider yourself as an artist, amateur, studying, you just love the arts, you just have the artist flame in you, regardless of whether you're practicing the arts or not in formal or non ways, then I would like you to join me in a session. So we're going to have the rooms available for you to choose where you would like to go. And then in the side of communities, if you are part of community or representing some community, the other time we had people from high schools or environmental organizations, mental health institutions, cultural associations, NGOs, anything like that. Either you're a member of or maybe local community, then you're more welcome to join the room with Costas, who's going to be leading. And we're going to take another 20 minutes, and that will be wrapping up tonight's hopefully interactive and fun session. So Costas will leave us the options here.
And I'm in Kozani, a city in Macedonia, Greece.
Okay, we're gathering up.
Ah.
Okay, let's wait because it was a big of an issue for people to understand how they can put themselves in the rooms. So let's give it a minute.
I think it's because for me it was, I had to click on something.
Yeah, you were the first one to join. I was like, she saw something probably that the others didn't.
yeah, it's but it was also because the first one I didn't get. So
okay.
We are the same. Again.
We are the same people?
We became friends.
No, we have new people. Fernando is here now, but I don't remember him before.
Very few.
Very few.
Okay.
This is our taberna now.
Awesome.
The Greek taverna.
Okay. Okay, I think this is us. And I already understood that you started saying your names and where you're coming from. Should we do another? Oh, new people entered. Okay. Hello, new people. Okay, so would you like that we do another round of the names, or would you like for me to start? Okay, let's do another round. So I'm Mary. I am an artist. I live in Porto, Portugal, because yeah.
Well, so I'm Fernando, and I live near Lisbon in Portugal. So I'm an artist, and I also develop some projects in which walking is the main uh, let's say the main aspect of the project. We use walking as an artistic approach, and also as a critical reading of landscapes and territories, because I know Sophie used the expression territory. Yeah, territory is, it's not the same as landscape, of course, but they share common grounds. But yeah, there's a political aspect in our projects also. So yeah, that's it.
I'm Sophie. I'm in Montreal, and I'm a walking artist. I do a lot of photography too, and I work with community also since many, many years, many kind of community or group.
Hello, everybody. I'm Vili. I'm also an artist. I'm very interested in nature, and in this particular moment, I would like to start a PhD, which has the subject of the new animism, and I would really like to see if the walking experience can be there as a new animistic experience. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm also an artist. I live in both Singapore and Denmark. Lived in Singapore since 2012, but since COVID, I've been based half time in Denmark. I do use also art as a part of my walking as part of my art, and have done various projects around Europe and Asia. I have not always called it art necessarily, but yeah, to me this group is new. I'm happy to see that so many artists that use art, walking as a practice also. So, and I'm particularly interested in our perception of nature, and do a lot of projects in forests wherever I go. And you can see in my background, I have a little tent. That's my mobile home zone tent I have used the last 14 years as a nomadic platform to take out for like my own gallery and hermit house. So yeah. And I'm interested also in wilderness. For example, an issue like the wolf population in Europe. I've started studying at the moment. I could find it interesting to walk through wolf territories, which are contested territories, both for the people who live there and there are many different perceptions of nature that kind of meet and fight in those areas. Thank you.
Hi,
I'm Nisha Lundberg. Oh, yeah, go.
I am Carla. I am from Barcelona, but I live in Castellón, in Greece, near the Florina, Sarades. For me, walking is investigation, experience the natural environment as at change at creating digital and fabric cartography. I am interested in creating a community where I live that relates to the environment in a more experiential way, creating her habitat. Excuse me, but my English is a little. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Corina. I come from Greece. I'm an artist and researcher. I've done street arts in the past and things outdoors, but walking is a new element in my artistic practice. And I'm currently doing a master's degree with Yannis Yogas, especially exploring this special part of my artistic practice, that is walking in communities. So I'm very interested in seeing where that can lead.
I'm Lies van den Berg. I'm a visual artist and also
I'm Blake.
use
I'm
walking.
based in Brooklyn,
Okay.
but I'm currently in Colima, Mexico, which is why I'm going off of camera sometimes because my internet's very unstable. But I am also a walking artist.
Thank you, Blake. Lizzie, you can continue. It's we have
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
delays.
yes,
It's okay.
internet is. Yeah, so as you see, I'm now also in my studio. I'm making drawings, and mostly also based on walkings or places where I've landed or passed by, and I organize walking meetings with other people, and use walking as a way to communicate with each other and meet each other.
I'm Yannis Yogas. I am an artist and also I teach in the University of Western Macedonia in Florina. And also I'm the artistic director along with Gert Vermeer of the program. And yes, my main working practice has to do with exploring the traumas of the landscape and how are these can these be explored, so to say. Yes.
I'm Robin from Sweden. I've never done this walking artist thing before, but I have traveled a lot around the world, and art is still close to my heart. I think what I am looking for in collaboration and stuff like that is about film, documentary film, and that kind of thing. And I can at least remember I watched one documentary about a woman that walked from south into northern Norway that really caught my attention. And she was just documenting the landscape and her experience, and I found that quite fascinating. It was the inner world.
Thank you. Thompson, you want to have a word, or should I continue with the rest?
Hello, I'm based in Edinburgh in Scotland, and I write a lot and make art and invite people to walk together. Everything's centered around walking is what I do. A lot of what I've been doing is walking around the boundaries of places and seeing meeting the other than human and humans who live in those outskirts and live in the boundaries around the edges.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody. So now that we know a little bit more of each other, I wanted to briefly say what WALC will be achieving in the next 3.5 years. It's already running for half a year. So the intention is to create some hubs, an artistic research center in Prespa Lake in Greece, but also we would like to connect people who share common practices and to share knowledge and to create a network among people who would like to use walking art in their communities or in their practice. So even if I see most of us are already walking artists, that doesn't mean that we don't want to build further connections with people. And yeah, so this is something that we're interested in. So I invite you to welcome other people also who we think could be benefiting from that. And in the next years that we will going to be working, as Andrew said, each different partner is going to be undertaking some residencies. Those can vary and can be online or physical, but also we will be having some other meetings and encounters. And I will very briefly say some partners' names and some of the things that they will be doing each year, just to give you an idea. For example, the University of Minho in Portugal is hosting 4 residencies, one each year in Guimarães, and it's an annual event called the Walking Body. It already happened in March, so they are accepting residencies for the next years. Now Cochlea, which is based in Spain, they have 3 residencies. It's a 1-month walk in Catalonia. They are titled Grand Tour. And they're also inviting people from around the world to join them for as many days as they would like. Our other partner is School of Gasbeck in Belgium, and they have 4 artistic residencies with hosting 4 artists each time. And in 2026, they will have a happening of walking arts, which is going to include a conference, presentations, roundtables, artistic walks, and exhibitions. And the main partner is the University of Western Macedonia that Yanis Joas is also representing here tonight, that is going to be hosting 2 encounters. One is going to be in July 2025. And so this is our next big event, and then another one in July 2027. So those encounters
And
are...
also I have to add, Mary, if
Yes.
you allow me, we are also organizing a big exhibition of the outcome in Greece. Of the outcome of the entire event. And also we are coordinating the main purpose of this project, which is to create an international center for walking arts in Greece. That's the main purpose and the main deliverable of this process.
Super. Thank you. Thank you, Yanis. And yeah, so if you would like to participate in the next encounter in Prespa, there's going to be places for artistic residencies. We're going to have an open call for that. But aside from that, you can participate in the conferences, you can present an academic paper, you can be part of the roundtable, artistic walks, if you'd like, or be part of the exhibition. And there's going to be a full documentary at the end of walk and an exhibition in Thessaloniki. So it will wrap up the whole of the project. And our final partner is in France, and they have 4 artistic residencies, accepting 1 artist each time. They're mainly focused on working with ecology and technology, and they actually offer also residencies that are online. And they are more focusing on technology and locative media. So they are actually hosting online workshops for collaborative artwork creation and training on sound walking and mapping. And they will create a separate application for that. This is just a very, very basic overview of everything, but it may spark some ideas on how you can take part in this project. Within the next month, we will be announcing specific open calls with dates and with deadlines, eligibility criteria, and how you can do to participate. I left before in the main page our website, because everything that is going to be uploaded is going to be either there or on our Facebook. But I will, since we now have your emails, I can also contact you when we have more of those coming. And to go a bit on our session 2, I am sharing now here on our chat. There you are. Another brainstorming session that we're going to be doing. We only have 7 minutes left, which is called Footsteps of Change, Artists and Communities in Motion. So the people in the other room are answering exactly the same questions, but on the part of the communities, and we would like to merge them together and see if those meet and where do they meet, or how they can complement one another. And again, it's the same principle as before. I'll just very shortly share my screen just to make it a bit easier for you to visualize what we're doing. So these are 3 columns. You are welcome to fill in any one which you like, or all of them, or 1 or 2. You can add your comment here by writing add post. It appears this subject, and then you can type your answer and hit publish. And again, it's anonymous, so you don't need to share it with anybody else. We're going to be keeping those to assess the needs of the group. But also, I would like to welcome a conversation on that since we have like 5 minutes left. So you can start typing if you like. I left some examples underneath just in case somebody wants to see the basic stuff. But yeah, if anybody would like to talk about what ways do you imagine walking becoming a bridge between artistic collaboration and community engagement, or better say through your practice already, because I see that most of you are already working with that. What has been maybe the way in which you found that artistic collaboration and community engagement were able to be merged together through walking? Do you have some examples you would like to share?
Can I share something?
Sure.
So I had the recent experience participating in a very small local festival here in Athens called the Handmade Theatre Festival, organized by a theatre group in central Athens, in the Metaxourgio neighborhood. And I proposed to them a walking intervention, let's say, and participatory walking intervention, whereby we would walk around like the neighborhood and talk and exchange ideas and thoughts, and maybe something would come out of this. And it turned out to be a breathtaking experience for me, as the participants were international. They were mostly young people coming from abroad, from different countries, who had never been to the neighborhood. There were also a couple of local people, like Athenians who lived there. So it was like a very interesting mix of participants. And what came out was like as a final result product of this encounter, the third encounter we had turned out to be, I would say, kind of like a participatory walking performance. In a sense, or performance installation, or whatever you like. Everybody had been inspired by all this walking and talking and communicating with each other, and everybody wanted to propose something for this this final walk we took together, and things began to emerge and create, like to be created on the spot, let's say. So it was a very interesting experience, actually. It surpassed by far my expectations. So in that sense, like walking around a neighborhood and just contemplating and seeing, taking the time to see the neighborhood, to give it more, like taking the time to see, gave birth to many things, many creative ideas. So
thank you very much. I tried to take some notes while listening to you, but you can also take more notes. And yes, this link is going to be valid after we leave the place. So if you would like to come back to it, you can. I understand it's hard to talk and write and listen at the same time. Anybody else who would like to share how they have seen in there? Maybe also, yeah, somebody can say their minds. Okay. I will go to the second column, maybe. What are some challenges or issues that you faced trying to create those projects, artistic work in the community? Have you ever faced any issues? And let's see what you did to overcome it. A lot of you mentioned different problems before that you were facing on a sociocultural level. So you can talk about urban challenges that you faced or natural challenges that you have faced, because those are definitely different ones. Or you can just type them there.
I was speaking about a walk which I proposed and that people wanted to come on with me. It was we were stimulating as much discussion as possible by using poetry, art, and research into green spaces and the effect that green spaces have on the heart and other organs of the body. What I was saying to the group was that that the space was cleared by the developers just before the walk. So we did some guerrilla gardening. We planted bulbs, and we knew that it was likely that it's not necessarily the case that they will be able to grow. Somebody may build on top of that land, or something might happen to it that we don't expect. But we all wanted to put our hope into the land, so we did some planting. So that was one way that we coped with the sociocultural difficulty.
Thank you. Somebody else would like to say something? Fernando, you mentioned some interesting things before you were doing in our neighboring Lisbon.
First, I don't know where is it the the board where we can write. I'm not.
I will put it
I
again,
don't
but
have
don't worry.
access to that.
Don't worry, but I am typing stuff, so I can type it for you. You can,
Okay.
don't worry.
Well, the place where I live, it's a very peculiar one because I live in about 500 meters from a natural park, but at the same time, a few kilometers from one of the most populated areas around Lisbon. It's about in the south bank of Lisbon metropolitan area. So, one of the issues that I would like to introduce in this project, and it's a very difficult one, is what it means, what really means a natural park or a protected area in the middle of a metropolitan area. What does that mean these days? What are the implications of this? It's not an easy thing to talk about. Well, I feel that it's a kind of well, it's a difficult issue, and it's one of the aspects that I would like to introduce. But I don't know why, how, because our project has two main, I would say, branches. One is artistic and critical thought, and the other is I would say, disclosure. So make it available for most part of a large, uh, um, not the big audience, of course not. That's not the point, but to a broad sphere of people, I would say. So this is one of the main difficulties that we have. The second difficulty that we have is we try to bring people to collective artistic processes. And I would say that in the 7 to 8 sessions that we had last year, in which more or less 50 people were involved, only 7 or 8 were in the end in the final outcome of the project, which was an artistic installation. that we did it, but in 50 people, only 7 or 8 responded. So I guess this is a classic. I would call it a classic kind of outcome. Anyway, it's one of the most difficult things is to really try to bring people to the problem. It's much more easier if we work in an area much more distant from the metropolitan areas. It's much more easier to bring people to the project if we work in the local community in the interior of the country. That's my that's what I feel. I don't know.
Thank you very much. Yes, Lizzie wants to talk, I think.
Yeah, I just want to ask, like, so you have problems with, because I also, I'm not doing like, I just do it in the place I live, and it's like, and I don't have any problems with connecting with people, but it's
That's
maybe
not the point.
also because I was thinking, what is the baseline? Like, where do people enter?
The thing is, walking, the problem is not to connect with people. We have a wonderful relation. The thing is, try to bring people to the artistic process. Because we have our programs always, we have a maximum of 15 people in each walk. It's always full. That's not the point. So walking, to bring people to walk with us, it's not a problem. The problem is to bring people to participate in the artistic outcome. So this is much more difficult.
Why is it important that they are involved in the artistic outcome?
Because when I mean artistic outcome, I mean it's a way of participating, not only to walk, to bring something, even to just collect an object.
So do you mean to be active rather than passive? To be active rather than passive?
Yeah. That's the issue. That's the real issue here. So, but I guess it's an evolving process.
However, someone could say that watching by itself is efficient enough, and there is not differentiated from. It is a huge discussion, but one could argue that watching is by itself an act of art, and it does not need to create anything after. Or if it does, not watching art, so to say, it's just the outcome of a process.
What I mean by bring something more, it's as simple as I told, just bring an object, bring a thought, bring something, even a sound, something, so that the process will continue after the walking. That's one of the goals of the project.
I understand, and actually these are all separate issues. How do we bring people together in general? And this faces different challenges if you're in an urban space, as you're saying, or in a natural space, because that also can be very challenging. And then how do you make them actively be there? And if you want to incorporate other outcomes, artistic, through the walking and separate from the walking, then that's another challenge. I tried to write everything down, and as I said before, the Padlet link will remain open. I just took some notes before, but I invite you to continue working on that. And this was such a short meeting, but yeah, we will be going back to the main room, and hopefully we'll be able to exchange more our opinions and discuss more. Thank you so much. See you in the big room.
Thank you.
And we're back. Okay.
Here from WOC, so we know each other, but we have Iliana and Deborah that we have not met. So, Iliana, can you present yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm Miliana Kristali. I'm both an artist and a member of an environmental organization as well. So I was a bit feel splitted. I didn't knew where to go, but I'm mostly in the environmental organization lately. So yeah, the organization is the Tribe in Action. So we do some empowerment of local communities, and I would love the idea to put some art there. So that's why I'm joining this. I was in Platforms project, and I heard of you. So I'm by myself. I've studied drama and I've do some performing. So we're doing most water projects. We have started like with tree plantings. We are very small NGO. I mean, not a startup, but I mean, we go slowly. And empowering local communities in some islands of Greece, Kenya and Bangladesh as well. So yeah, I think that it's kind of clear.
Thank you very much, Ileana. And Deborah? Deborah, do you hear us? Okay, until Deborah is listening to us, maybe again very, very brief so that also Ileana can learn some things about us. Fred, Miguel, and Athanasia, can you present yourself?
Yes, so Yana, just I'm here exactly for the same reason as you, because also I have an art practice, but I am a volunteer at the wetland, taking care of nature house and collaborating with ecologists and very centered into environmental regeneration. And I said, yeah, okay, I'm an artist, but I really feel first part of the community of people and nature, and so that's for me what's more important. You know, it's really
yes, I see. Yeah, the same perspective.
yes. So that's great, and I think like this I can present myself. That's so well present.
Thank you, Fred. Miguel?
Yeah. Yes. Well, our practices are based on the University of Minho in Guimarães, and we have promoting the walking body. And well, we in fact are trying to figure what is our community, since we have a local community, which is the people that live on the neighborhood of our school where we work, but we have also the resident community of the school. So we have here two communities. And in fact, we are trying to figure which kind of community would we like to work in this case. So, and in fact, the school community and perhaps empower the young students to act in the territory will be a very interesting challenge for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Miguel. Diana, from Porto Alegre. Hello, do you hear us? Can you talk a little bit? We don't hear you very well. Can you? Hello? Can you present yourself?
Yeah, I can. I am Diana Silva. I'm from a group of art, Association of Art, Happy Everywhere in ISA, but is part of Porto Alegre district, not I'm here to understand a little about what you are talking, or do something, not just Biennale here of jewelry, but about other arts, and to go out from the city, go to other countries. That's my idea.
Okay, thank you very much, Diana and Thanasia.
Hello, I choose this theme because I work as a school teacher, and I try to work with art programs with my classes. So I'm trying to build from art some practices that will help children work as a community and try to base to each other.
Okay, thank you very much, Thanasia and Sylvie. Also, perhaps Sylvie. Sylvie doesn't listen to us. Okay, so I would like to ask you, especially those ones that are not involved. Yes, sorry, Sylvie.
Okay, it's just sorry. Yes, so we're working here with a group of artists in exile. Some of them are not artists, and but we work art with them. So we the idea is to make a link, draw a link between the community who's been living here for a longer time, and some of them were born here, and the ones who arrive. Solve some of the racism that could occur, but fortunately we have not had this kind of problem. So we, for working this project, we make many links with other associations, institution, cultural, but not only, also chorals, sports, really a large range of people who do all sorts of things. We develop more music and the visual arts, but I just can make this commentaries that it's so agreeable to, I have met so many interesting people since we've worked this way. It has augmented our range of friends compared to the time where we just developed our own pieces without not being so much involved in the local community. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sylvie. Okay, so I would like to ask, especially the people that are not from work projects. So, how do you think that this working could contribute to the empowerment of the local community? So, in what ways you imagine working to become a bridge between artistic collaboration and community engagement? For example, Iliana.
Yeah, this is a good question. Actually, I'm just doing some research of this, and we're trying to find the way. I don't have an answer for now. We're just researching it, how we will make it work, and especially with the communities that we were always be. Because yeah, there are some groups, and especially there are some conditions that they don't allow us to make whatever we think about this combo and blending. So we're just researching, trying to find a nice proposal which will have an impact and be as much as walking artistic can be. So yeah, we're just researching.
Okay. Fred, do you have any, based on your experience, something else to guide Iliana, or to give a hint or something?
A hint?
No, I just was looking at your project, The Tribe in Action. So I was just focusing on discovering more about what you do, and I have more questions than answers. And just if I can, if I may, Costas, better ask Iliana a question.
Yes.
Is you already, when I see your project, The Tribe in Action, if you already integrate walking in your approach, in your work with people from different countries, Africa and Bangladesh?
From Kenya, actually, I've been the walking. Yes, and I've been there twice. I mean, I've been 2 Novembers. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to be there this November. But we've been like the past 2 Novembers because it's the rainy season, so we do the sundowns there and engaging with the community. And actually, this is the interesting about something to integrate with the walking, because there the walking itself, it's like a daily act. It's already an art there. So there are so many hours people walk, and they're doing it like every day and maybe twice a day. So you can imagine, I mean, 25 or 30 minutes or maybe more. So, and we have been experiencing this, I mean, walking for a long time to reach a water source. And actually, it was very interesting. We have some footage, but I didn't have it in my mind about the walking as an art. It was only like in my imagination, but I couldn't actually find the connection there. So now, after the presentation of walk, so yeah, it gave me an inspiration, let's say. So that's what we're trying to do to our next trip to Kenya, hopefully, because we are trying our best to be sustainable. So yeah, but if you have any ideas, I mean, I will be super happy to hear from you. I mean, there the conditions are like everyday walking and walking. People they're already doing making some art there. I mean, Africans and most Kenyans that I've been, they're dancing a lot, they're singing, so they're engaging in a very interesting way along with the walking. So yes, please, I'm open to hear your maybe your experiences or some ideas, so I can.
Yeah. I think it connects very well with the approach of Giga Circus at a certain point. Really trying to create bridges with people from the global south, and yeah. So if I can put my email if you want, and we can be in contact and we can talk more about it.
Yeah, of course.
With Sylvie in the future and the community.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear where you are based. Where are you now? Where are you based?
Are we taking with at me? In Iliana?
Where do you live? Where do you live?
In Greece. Yeah, we're a Greek non-governmental. Yeah, we're a Greek small NGO. We started as a community as well, and then we passed in the legal and the registration of an NGO. But we were like 1 year. We were like a community ourselves. We would just present ourselves like a community of eco-activists. So, and then we became an NGO and we're doing some projects. So yeah, but we're in Greece. But Yeah, we make things globally, as it was like clear for us want to make an impact not only in Greece but globally.
Yeah.
Excellent. I put my email if anyone want to contact us.
Yeah, of course.
We can catch
Yes,
on the
please.
chat. And we'll be very happy to know more about what you do.
Thank you very much. Diana, how do you think this question? So how do you imagine that working can become a bridge between artistic collaboration and community engagement? And what kind of challenges do you think that the local communities can face now, and with a working-based artistic project can address, could be improved through this working-based artistic project?
I'm part of association, and this association we are doing through a lot of connection with people, because in Nisa, Switzerland is more a city, but Nisa is a more little city, and we are working with it. They have traditional pottery, very beautiful, and we try to meet this whole technique of embroidery and of play, a very special way to do play with stone, too, with the beautiful work, and we are trying to mix this with the jewelry, contemporary jewelry. And what we are planning to do is bringing other young guys and boys and girls to know and culture, and take them to the masters of play and of embroidery, and make this connection with local people, with new people from other countries, because this little city here in Porto Alegre, in Nisa, this area are not a lot of people. It's more old people living, but they know a lot. It's the idea.
Okay, Diana, thank you. I cannot hear you very well.
Yes.
So I have some problem in listening to what you are saying. Miguel,
Sorry.
is Porto Alegre near to Porto or is another?
No,
it's a bit far away.
It's a far away.
From Alentejo, high Alentejo. It's more south.
It's like 400 kilometers.
Okay, it's far away.
It's not too much, but in Portugal it's too much.
How many? Excuse me?
Like 400.
400.
Yes.
Okay.
From Porto, yeah.
It's like 4 to 5 hours driving.
Okay.
Okay, so Diana, if you can summarize a little bit and write something on the chat, because I was not able to hear you.
Yes, yes.
Very well.
Yeah.
It was struggling a little bit.
Once I repeat this, you are me now. I don't have this for
Diana, if you can write something in the chat, because we don't hear you very well, the sound is bad. So if you write something in the chat, maybe we can understand better your idea. We have also Dora. Dora, do you hear us? Dora? No, Dora is not listening to us. It's
Hello?
Hello, Dora.
Hi. I was trying to find what I have to tap on to talk.
Okay, glad that you found it.
Yes?
Yes, please tell us something about yourself, represent yourself, and if you have something to say about the questions we are we are discussing now. We will be very glad to listen to your opinion.
Okay. So first of all, sorry for joining so late. I had a class earlier and I couldn't make it. I don't actually have a project to present here. I'm part of WALC mostly from my capacity as a translator and editor, but I'm very, very interested in everything that's happening in WALC. So I don't have much to to present here, but I'm really enjoying listening to everything that's been shared.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dora. Athanasia, from your own perspective, what do you think about how working can and your also your experience from Prespa? So how working can actually support community engagement, can help the community to face the issues they face.
Working, it consists of many parts. The one of it is that you can come in touch with many different people, and it gives you the ability to hear their stories. So first, by working and by meeting people, you can understand people and how do they live and where they are. For me, the first basis of creating or working with communities or with anybody is to know. So working can bring you first the first level of knowing each other, and then by knowing each other, you understand its needs, if it's a person or if it's a community. So you can contribute by sharing, by learning, by saying a story. For example, my work is a little bit different. It has to do with the places that are abandoned. So by working, I'm telling stories about places that were left behind in a way. So if I hadn't worked there, I couldn't say the stories. In other cases, you may say stories about places that are very far away from others, and you can, make a mark, or you can communicate about them in the whole world. So working is a process of meeting and knowing in the first place. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we need to finish this time. We are already a little bit out of time, but the discussion is very interesting. Just in conclusion, I would like to tell you some of the things that or the work project can contribute. So first of all, we wanted to create a connection between the organizations that are part of the project and other organizations that are not part of the project, but they also are interested to use working as working art as a way to empower communities. So to share in the way we are doing now, or to share in a more in-depth way, we want to organize international center of working arts in Prespa, in Greece, and connect this international center of working arts between the different with various organizations all over the world that have also the same purpose. We are also organizing residencies, artistic residencies, always in the field of working art. An encounter that is this July and July 2024 in Prespa, in Greece. And also we are organizing every month cafes and conferences, online events that we are researching a specific aspect, let's say, of working arts, and we are inviting people to be involved and get to know the work of different working artists and connect with the work with the local community and get some inspiration. We have the website that we are posting all the information, and we're going to post more all the information about our project in order to connect and to get inspiration of this. So we hope that we could be part of a bigger network that it is related with working arts and working arts as part of community empowerment. Okay, and that's Miguel. That Diana. Diana.
Yeah, it's a message through Diana that sent me
okay.
Your request about the resume.
Okay, so there's a connection between the artists and the artisans in this part. It was a pity that we had we could not hear very well Diana, and we could not hear at all Deborah, and we could contribute also to this, but we get a general idea, which is the purpose of this meeting.
Okay. Well, I don't know what was happening in the other side of the breakout rooms, but in ours it was a very engaging conversation, and it was such a short time. But we still wanted to keep everything short and interactive, and this is just to note people's names and make sure that you see them again, you do some stuff with them again in the future. So what I would like to do as just a very short reflection at the end is I have very three simple questions, and they're called here, there, everywhere. And here is that I would like for you to share one thing that in today's seminar caught your attention or your curiosity, at least. That was something you noticed. Maybe it was a game, maybe it was a comment from somebody else, maybe something, a concept or a visual framework. And then we're going to go to the rest. But does anybody want to share something that happened here? It can be something very small that they just take out from this 1 hour that we spent together.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So I was like relieved a little bit that in other parts of the world there are problems, like things that artists encounter, problem or issues that are pretty much the same. Like, for example, this Fernando was talking about the difficulty at engaging people into an artistic process. And I think my experience in Athens in some cases was very similar to this. Like people initially saying that they're very enthusiastic about things and then failing to really engage into the artistic process. So yeah.
Thank you. Somebody else would like to share something that's going to stay with them from our meeting tonight?
What catched my attention is what kind of engagement the artists have with the community, because there's many ways to be engaged with the community. Yeah, just thinking about that and to know my position with different group or with the community. So I think yeah, I would like to continue my reflection about that. Thank you.
Somebody else would like to share?
Yeah, I can share. I'm just happy that there's the community feeling. I have sometimes felt a bit lonely in my interest, being out there and trying to explain to people. So you're doing art, what actually is this art? So I'm really happy to have discovered this community. So that's
It's a support group, Anne.
yes.
We're here for one another. Thank you. Yeah, also I feel the same actually from today's meeting. It's nice to hear people from around the world, and well, we're sharing the same challenges, which it can be encouraging at least because we know we're not alone. But then it's kind of like, okay, then this problem we should tackle it on another level probably. Somebody else would like to share?
Yes, I will just thank you all very much. I'm so happy to see us alive and beautiful. We are exchanging. It's a real dialogue. It's very good. It feels very good. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for organizing. I think we are on the right way to do a real discussion, real encounter. Thank you.
If nobody else wants to say something, I would ask now, what is something from tonight that you would like maybe to comment that we haven't touched upon, or something you want to share? I have a Google form that I'm going to be leaving here. And this will be the final thing that will come out of me for tonight. It's a Google form because we want to get to know you better. Okay, so yes, you filled in just the email and the name in the beginning when you entered because we need to have some basic information. But the walk is about creating this community, and we want to just keep in touch because we lose people. Some people come in meetings and then we don't hear from them anymore. They don't hear from us, and I would like to have a better communication. So this is just to get to know us better. It's a very simple form, and it's for both people who are representing a community or artists. And you can fill it in now, or you can take your time and fill it in later. As I said before, all the Padlet links that I sent before are also going to be open, and you can contribute them after, because I know it's challenging to walk and talk and write and everything at the same time. And so, yeah, you can fill in your name, your email address, and where you're based, and what art of media are you working with, or what community you're representing or are part of, some of the challenges and the engagement you envision to have. As I explained in the one room and costs in the other, we have a lot of online physical residencies, collaborations. We're open to internships, and we're open to anything else that we haven't included above. So if you have any new ideas, please write it. And yeah, and if you have any barriers about engaging with walk, from financial, linguistic, mobilities, any resources, let's just discuss, okay? Because we would like to welcome you, and if it's within our capacity, we would love to have you and see how we can work around those. So yeah, or I have left an open field there for you to add any other comments or ideas. Yeah, I will leave you again my email here, which is I'm doing the communications for the project, but whatever you want to reach and to write, communications@walktogether.eu. It's our email, so feel free to contact us there. And yeah, I don't know if you would like to say something else.
I would like to, if we are concluded, to thank you all as part of the, let's say, artistic community, of the artistic committee and the managerial committee for being here with us. And we hope that this is going to be the beginning of the dialogue that has started between us and will keep going on for the next 3.5 years. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you. Mary,
Thank
you
you.
have not
I
put
left
the...
you,
here's
yeah,
the
I
Google
left you
form.
the Google Forms. Yeah, it's here.
Okay. You're going to receive it also by mail, I guess, but yes, this is the link. Thank you all very much for your time and for being with us here tonight. And as Yanis said, we hope that this will be the beginning of a fruitful dialogue throughout our process.
Thank you, everybody, and we hope to meet you again. It was so nice to connect with you, even briefly, but yeah, I like that.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Τα λέμε. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ, παιδιά.
Ευχαριστούμε, Γιάννη.
Γεια
Ευχαριστούμε.
σας.
Καλό βράδυ.